Hello there, welcome back to the shed. Today we've got an annoying problem to fix in the shape of my Citroen Relay van. This is my trusty old van that I use for window cleaning, and as if I didn't already have enough jobs to do, the world decided that the heater matrix on my van needed to blow. So that's resulted in this little puddle of ectoplasm on the floor of the van and a distinctly horrible smell when you're driving along. Now I've just done the obligatory look on the internet to see if anybody else has done a nice handy YouTube guide on how to do it, and the short story is there's nothing. I found a forum post where somebody was claiming that it was an 11-hour job, but I don't think it is. Annoyingly, there does seem to be a distinct lack of information on this shape of the Relay Ducato Boxer van that was known as the 244. So what I'm going to do today is record said guide on how to do it. Hopefully I don't mess it up or do it the wrong way, so other people have got this as a resource when they come to do theirs. Having found a video on the earlier shape, really, I think it was really easy on that one, and for some reason they thought we'll just make it really difficult on the later shape. So but it'll be whatever it'll be. So let's go and get some tools and then strip it to bits.
Here I'm basically just attacking the dash. Wherever I see a screw, pretty much just taking it out. Most of them are T25 Torx headed screws. There's some Phillips headed screws and some 5mm Allen key screws. Here I'm taking a few bits out of the engine bay. There's a vac sort of unit, a big bracket with vac stuff on, the header tank and a fuse box just to get out of the way so I can access the heater matrix pipes.
I've just been disconnecting the coolant lines, flow and return, I think, from the heater matrix in the engine bay. So I need to drain down the coolant, and then I can disconnect those, and then the 3 10mm nuts around that panel, and that should release the heater matrix from the engine side. Just trying to take the bottom hose off the radiator to drain the coolant out, and in their infinite wisdom, Citroen decided to use, well, it's probably Fiat actually, Jubilee clips that aren't undoable, so you have to butcher the Jubilee clip off and then replace it. So that's what I'm just attempting to do now, but it's easier said than done, and it's just slipped round out of it. Oh, there you are, you can see the little tag there. They also use some special assembly tool, but yeah, so it is coming. So I'll just get it off now. I release you.
After I drained the coolant down, I was then able to release the 2 pipes that feed coolant through the heater matrix.
Here we go. Here it comes, there we go. Right, that is the heater matrix disconnected from the cooling system. Okay, so this is what it looks like inside the van now. And I'm thinking that this rectangular part here is where the heater matrix must be sat. That's the blower motor, and that's air's coming out through there, but there doesn't seem to be an obvious access point, so I'm thinking probably that the whole unit has to come out and then you get to the heater matrix from the bulkhead side.
For this part of the process, there isn't really a methodology other than if you see a screw, take it out. It's quite difficult to work out what holds what in place, so you end up taking about too few screws or too many in some places, and just seeing what comes loose after you take a few out. So you can see there that I managed to get the dash out just by persevering and filling yogurt pots with screws, bolts and nuts.
Okay, so I've finally got the heater box to a position where I can get at the matrix, and yeah, I think it's just another couple of nuts and little screw at the back there to get it out, hopefully, and confirm that that is what the problem is, because holy, that's been a lot of work. Yeah! Well, there it is. And it's safe to say that that is... Let's go on eBay and buy a new one. Okay, it's a couple of days later now. The new heater matrix has turned up, although the thermostat and the coolant haven't, so I won't be able to get it finished today. But first things first, let's see if this fits and see if we can start getting the rest of it back together. Right, so there it is, the massive flipping heater box. Oh, I needed a bit of a clean out. Yeah, just looking at this more closely, there is no other way that the heater matrix would have come out, or no easier way to get to it. So that's nice to know that we haven't done it the hard way. Well, I mean, it is the hard way, but it's the only way. But I think that's pretty clear of leaves and crap now. Yeah, this was obviously designed to have a pollen filter fit in here, but this panel is like blocking it off. It's like part of the moulding, or has been put in obviously to get rid of the need for a pollen filter. So I'm going to cut that out and see if I can get a pollen filter to go in there, because I can easily just glue a piece of plastic across the top if I can't, you know, to put it back to as it was. But actually, yeah, I'd quite like to put one in there if I can. So let's hack that out. I need like a Dremel or something, which I haven't got. Oh, I tell you what I have got. Oh, it's a thing of absolute beauty. A Parkside multi-grinder, cheap-ass, horrible, nasty thing. But in here should be, oh yeah, look, some little tiny cutting discs. Perfect. Let's get some power. Power! Okay, so we go with this. Well, that was lucky. This might look stupid, but as you can see there, that just shattered and that hit me in the face. Well, hit me in the screen instead of hitting me in the face. So be safe, kids. Right, well, there it is, open. It's clearly meant for a pollen filter and there isn't one in there, so I might have to make a lid for it or try and source one from somewhere, unless it comes as part of the filter, which I doubt. But at least I can get some dimensions from it now. Yeah, cool. That'll be a little improvement. Right, so here's the new matrix. Requires a little bit of assembly. Always a bit bashed up, these things, even when they're new, but that's what you get when you buy cheap. Okay, so that's the new one actually fitted in the heater box. It fits, which is a bit of a relief, because you never really know with these sort of cheapo pattern parts, especially ones for a van as old as this. So yeah, cool. Right, let's get it back in the van.
Of course, by this point, I'd completely forgotten what goes where in terms of fasteners and screws and whatnot. So it was just a case of process of elimination of nuts and bolts, what fitted where, and trial and error.
This big support frame that kind of everything else, it supports the dash and everything else bolts onto, is held in by, there's 4 of these, 2 each side, 15mm headed bolts, and then 2 on the top, one there and one over that side, and they are 13mm. So I just put those back in and that's solid now. So I should be able to bolt the heater box up to that and then look to get the dash in. Okay, so the heater box itself, I've just bolted it back in. It's held in with 3 10mm headed bolts, one there, one there, one over there, and a 10mm nut under here somewhere, just there. I put that module back on as well because that didn't actually need to come up in the first place. So just having fun and games now, narrowing down which nuts and bolts to use where, because I've got pots and pots and pots of them. I always say to myself I should bag it, but and label them, but I never do. So next time I might start one day. There's a couple of struts which also support this big beam across here. So there's some 12mm nuts, one there, one on the inside just here that also supports this this bracket that holds a fuse box. A load of 10mm headed bolts that hold that on, and likewise the other side. It's all pretty symmetrical because obviously indicated for left and right hand drive, so that's nice. It makes it easier to work out where nuts and bolts go because you've generally got multiples of 2 of everything. So some more 10mm headed things. There's a couple of earth nuts there, don't want to forget those, and there's the other strut in there. So a 12mm nut and another one just up in the top there.
It was a lot of work, this bit, so I called in some extra help from my identical twin brother.
Trying to be really methodical now, getting the dash in. It's held in with a load of these 5mm. Let me show you one. 5mm Allen headed shouldered bolts with a rubber washer in to dampen vibrations into the dash, I suppose. But there's quite a few of those. They're not too bad. Right, the dash is back in now. It wasn't too bad actually. It was probably a bit easier than getting it out, to be honest. Just got to put the stereo back in, get the keys and just fire it up, just make sure everything electrical works, fingers crossed. I'm going to clean the floor up as well for where it's been leaking and stuff, and yeah, getting there. Well, it's been a few weeks since I finished the heater matrix job, and I haven't got around to finishing off the video till now. But yeah, it's been absolutely fine, bar one problem, which was that when I reconnected the power for my USB outlet thing there, I got the polarity wrong on the wiring, which shouldn't normally be too much of a problem, except for the fact that to access the back of that, to change the wires round, meant a load of disassembly again, and I never actually got around to cleaning the floor like I promised I would, so I will do that at some point. But yeah, so hopefully I've dissuaded anybody else from taking on this job, because it was an absolute monster compared to just putting a can of K-Seal in or something like that. So yeah, try it at your own risk. But thanks for watching anyway. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.